Welcome back to a video covering some Borderlands 3. We're roughly 2.5 months away from the release now, and if you're familiar with the channel you'll know I love my looter shooters. If you're not familiar, subscribe and turn notifications on. I want to talk to you about the endgame today because there's been a few looter shooters floating about recently trying to do their bit. But we all know that Borderlands is the king of looter shooters. Anthem tried in February and failed. Division 2 tried in March and is just about hanging on in there for the time being. Obviously both games can pick up again, but talking Borderlands and there only being a few references of those games in this video, alongside the E3 stuff about Borderlands 3, they actually released DLC for Borderlands 2 7 years after the release of the game, which is just mental. So the endgame in your typical looter shooter doesn't award too much. You'll put hours and hours into the game and really enjoy the experience, but when you've got all the loot, the chances of you playing through the story again are very slim, and that's where Borderlands really brings excitement to the table. We know how many crazy guns are in this game, each with their own unique names and designs, so when you play this compared to other games in the genre, it's still fun when you're near the end of the story, and you find some crazy gun that deals more damage. It has weird abilities or alt-fire modes as we're going to see in the latest installment of the franchise, and when it comes to these games, Anthem had masterwork and legendary weapons have exactly the same design. In fact, there wasn't really a design change throughout any of the rarities for a gun if I remember correctly, and they didn't even have masterwork or legendary support gear in the game 4 months after the release. They're only just adding that in, and Division 2 has an okay amount of guns, but they don't really do much different from one to the next besides base damage increases. So what the Borderlands team do with their weapons really makes them stand out, especially seeing as they're crazy with their designs. I'm talking guns with legs and an assault rifle that can alt-fire to shoot 7 rounds per shot. Besides all of the loot talk, we spoke about replayability of the game. Anthem had a dragged out 2 mission which was purposely designed to hold players back because of the lack of content in the game, and Division 2 had an incredibly boring, bland story that they're only now expanding with backstory through paid DLC being the classified assignments at the moment. Borderlands 3 is not only what they're saying is their biggest, most ambitious game set in different planets and stuff, and being considerably larger than previous games, we also have some fan favourite characters and things coming back. They're adding in extra ranks after completing the story, and one of the devs said during an interview, this is just what I read, but they said some of those other games out there don't have a great endgame, but we believe in the second and third playthrough. We believe in a thing called Mayhem Mode which drastically tweaks the numbers of things. How hard do you want the game to be as you play through the second and third time? We have Guardian ranks that once you beat the game there's an entirely new skill system that only becomes unlocked after you beat the game. Our endgame is really deep and we want people to keep playing it. I'm guessing the Mayhem mode will basically be Vault Hunter mode from number 2, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. This endgame should keep you playing for hundreds of hours and should have enough in it to keep you finding new loot and doing crazy shit even past the end of the game and into your next playthrough, and because it's at the end of the game when you unlock the new skill system, it makes you want to get there and do it, so it encourages you to play more. Whether that's a publicity stunt for the game's exposure or not is something we'll find out soon. This is one game I will definitely be covering on the channel, hopefully heavily covering it, as long as everything goes well because it's just an interview with a dev. These things always sound cool, like trailers always look amazing. Remember Anthem and their walking striders and how Jara's Wrath popped up on your screen? People are hundreds of hours into Anthem now and still haven't found a legendary. And because of all of this, you can never set a solid opinion on these games until you've had hands-on experience. Hands-on for the full release will be the 13th of September this year. All of this at the moment is purely hype, and I wanted you to know what the devs are planning with their endgame and how they're saying they've worked on this game enough to see players do multiple playthroughs. We've seen a bit of gameplay, we've seen loot, so now we just have to hope and pray it follows the footsteps of the older games and keeps us playing for hours on end every single day. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.